Hello there, this is Stormdog, and today I'd like to talk about Triad Wars, a 2008 Hong Kong action movie with an incredible cast. In some areas, it was released as Fatal Move, due to it having a lot of the same cast and crew as Fatal Contact. In the midst of a violent gang war, one powerful Triad leader is faced with losing a grip on his power, as his empire slowly crumbles and his trust of those closest to him dwindles. Violence escalates as the Triad starts clashing with other Triads amongst the Hong Kong community. Faced with this only option, he'll have to resort to violent ways to regain his status and reclaim the respect of his Triad. Yeah, sort of, not really. The first part of the movie sets up an awesome war with a rival Triad. The action scenes in the first two-thirds of the movie are excellent. There are some really great battles with this one edgelord character breaking out a classic Chinese broadsword and another one using some kind of weird 𝐓𝐫𝐢𝐚𝐝-like weapon. It's like a modern Shaw Brothers movie with weird, unique weapons. There's an excellent chase scene with the Triad trying to escape a drug bust from the police. There is a solid raid on the police station to kill someone before they can witness against the Triad. Throughout all of this, I was really eager to see the finale of the movie if the early action is that good. Unfortunately, the plot develops away from the impending Triad war and into infighting and double crosses. The momentum begins to slow, and the finale is less than the preceding parts. The Triad tears itself apart, and the end of the movie is unnecessarily cruel, feeling petty. By the time the credits roll, I wasn't even sure why the endings of characters were so cruel, and it really just felt useless. I don't know if it was supposed to be some kind of crime doesn't pay message or what. Rival Triad from the first half seemingly disappears, unless they were the physical manifestation of cruel justice and destiny that showed up at the end. I don't have any answers, just dissatisfaction. There's a pretty good fight at the end between two of the leads, and it's probably the most marketed part of the movie, and it's pretty good. The whole reason behind it is really sudden, and doesn't feel developed enough. It just really all falls apart. There is a torture sequence in here against a woman, and it gets pretty gruesome. Fingernails pulled, teeth pulled, all of it shown. I did skip most of it. The movie in the fight scenes uses that CGI blood, and it's not too bad. The sword combat is bloody with limbs flying. It's a little bit of goofy fun. I don't find it as egregious as I do in a lot of movies. There is a strong undercurrent of cruelty, I guess, throughout the film. Sammo Hung plays the main lead, and he's always been one of my favorites. His Eastern Condors is a solid classic, as is Millionaires Express, but also Paper Marriage is very underrated. His career is stacked, but he's done a lot of really great work behind the camera with movies like Painted Faces, especially being one I want to mention. That movie gives a view of how Sammo and Jackie Chan grew up and is a very interesting study to at least introduce you to the story. Simon Yam is one I've recently talked about with more depth in my video on Bullet in the Head. I really like his work throughout his career, and he took a lot of action roles. He does really well in this film and was probably the best character. Jackie Wu Xing, depending what market you're in, plays the edgelord with the sword and the crazy haircut. He is best known for his fight scenes and had a lot of these almost silent roles where he's just a physical presence around this time period. He has a very famous fight scene with Donnie Yen in SPL. I really like how his career has developed recently with the two Wolf Warrior movies, The Wandering Earth, and stuff like Shaolin. I really appreciate the physical energy that a lot of these actors bring to the table. This was the first film Danny Lee had done after a 4-year break. I've been encountering him a lot as I try to track down these little-known HK action movies from the 90s. I brought him up in my video on Asian Connection and recently saw him in Against All. He is once again playing his usual role as an inspector. A lot of other industry standards have roles, and with the cast, it's such a shame that it ends up being less than the sum of its parts. It feels like they got to the last 20-30 minutes and couldn't figure out how to end it. It's like they just had someone film something. It's a disappointment after the preceding parts were so good. The film isn't for everyone, especially with the ending. It's just a shame with how much potential was there. With a proper ending, it could have been a real hidden gem. If you've seen the movie, leave your thoughts down in the comments, and until next time, this has been Stormdog.
大佬，醒佢哋仲傾緊啊！大佬，的士到咗，你過去大排幕嗰邊，快啲！
佢哋唔攞槍出嚟先，我哋唔攞。
收到。
你哋留喺度。
大佬，
企定睇戲啦。